Hey guys, Brandon here. So most of my videos are time lapses, but I wanted to kind of go through a tutorial of how I actually do my projects. So I'm going to show you how I made a mosaic cross. So I got this wooden cross at Michael's. It was on sale for like 47 cents, which is awesome. So I'm first going to show you what kind of tools I use. This is a serrated knife that I've had for like 10 years that I use on everything. Never been sharpened, it's covered in glue. It's nicknamed Excalibur. I love it. It's awesome. It does really good on bolt cutting. And then for fine cuts, I use a number 15 surgical blade, which is very sharp. Does great work, but please be careful. I've cut myself many times. It hurts. So I pre-cut most of my pieces into triangles. For this project, I needed about 100 corks of various colors. The awesome ones are the ones that are pink and purple, that are stained by the red wines. Um, yeah, they look great. So let me show you how I actually cut the triangles. Let me get out Excalibur. Cut about, I guess, like a centimeter wide off the tip of the cork. It doesn't matter the exact. It doesn't have to be exactly the same width for this project. I kind of wanted to make them different widths to kind of give extra dimension. You can do them the same width. It's a little more difficult. You gotta spend more time making them the exact height. It's doable, but it's tedious. So this cross is pretty cool because it has a border that is a little wider, or not wider, thicker than the inside of the cross, which is going to be cool. It'll make it easier to place my initial pieces. Um, so I'm going to start by putting the pieces on the inside of the border. Oh yeah, and how I place the pieces, I actually use super glue. This stuff's awesome. Crazy glue, shout out. It's awesome. I've literally spent thousands of dollars on super glue. So if you ever want to sponsor me, Crazy, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, I just put down a nice thin layer, stick my initial piece, my first triangle, kind of hold it in place. This stuff dries pretty fast. It takes about 10 seconds, up to like 30, but you can kind of just place it and let it sit and wait for it to dry. And hold it in place, make sure it doesn't move. And then I kind of just line up the next triangle, see how it fits. A lot of time I'll do a initial test just to make sure that the flat edges line up well. If not, I kind of just shave off a little bit and try again. So yeah, just kind of repeat those steps. Put down glue, line up, test fit, put it in, hold it in place. Kind of just keep going until I reach, I guess, until I run out of space, making a nice, almost like a semicircle using the triangles. So I'm going to speed up the video just so we can get to the next step and keep this project rolling. Okay, so yeah, you can see I made kind of like a semicircle with my triangles, and then I'm going to move on to another corner of the cross. So the next placement, it doesn't really matter. I just chose that spot. Looks good. So same step as before. Just lay down some glue, lay down my initial triangle, and same thing. Just switch off between a colored piece and a white piece or something. Give a little contrast, and then yeah, just line them up. Get to your next border semicircle, and then stop. Move on to the next corner. Okay, so now I've kind of run out of space as far as I have my semicircles, but there's a bunch of jagged edges. So what I'm going to do is actually take my surgical blade at this point and kind of shave off all the little points that were sticking out and just do one long straight edge, and that'll give me a new border flat edge that I can start building my next semicircle of triangles on. So pretty much, I just repeat the process of laying down my triangles. Once I reach an edge where I can't put any more on, I let it dry, and then cut a new flat edge, and then just continue on and just move around until I fill it up and hopefully like the way it looks. Alright, I'm just gonna speed up the video and then put on some music, and you guys can hopefully enjoy the long process of filling in the inside border of the cross. Alright, so I've finished the inside. Just have to do the border. I guess at this point I could have just stopped. It looks pretty cool. But I thought an ace dark colored border would look even better. So for this one, it's a little different. I had made the triangles different thicknesses to give it some depth, but for the border, I want to make them all one thickness, just so it would look clean. And you can see I switched my super glue to Gorilla Glue. I ran out of my crazy awesome glue. Gorilla Glue is pretty good. It's a little messier and it takes longer to dry, but it's crazy strong, and I've glued my fingers together several times, so be careful. So, in order for me to make the correct thickness, I would kind of guesstimate, just eyeball how thick I wanted to be, and then I would test fit, and then if I had to make any minor adjustments to make them the same thickness, I would use my surgical blade and kind of shave off from the bottom. Test fit, sometimes it takes a few tries. It's tedious, a little frustrating at times, but it's worth it for the end product. You can also see how I wouldn't cut the piece to be exactly the same size as the wood border, knowing that once I had all the pieces glued down, I would go back in and just kind of shave, like cut my border to the correct width that I wanted, make it look clean. It's kind of that's the part I really enjoy, is kind of the like the post carving effect. Alright, I'm gonna speed up the video at this point, glue down my pieces, and then show you the post carving, my favorite part. Alright, cool. So I got all my pieces down, and then before I start cutting, I like to go back over and just lay down a top layer of glue on top, kind of make sure that all the pieces are fused together so that nothing comes loose when I start to cut them. Alright, sweet. So I think that looks pretty cool. Just gotta make it look even better. So here we go. Start cutting off the chunky edges. So I was kind of just guessing the thickness, and then I would pick it up every once in a while and just look from the bottom to see if I was um, in the right ballpark. Alright, so I'm going to speed up the video again, just go along the entire border on the cross, kind of shave it down and make it look pretty. So cool. Finished up. I think it looks pretty awesome. A nice mosaic wine cork cross. Started off with a 47-cent cross from Michael's. Turned it into a priceless masterpiece. Well, thanks guys for checking out my video. Please check out the rest of my awesome wine cork creations. Hope you enjoy and leave me a comment. Thanks.